There seems to be a lot of confusion because I think we've heard a lot of people use the word patriarch or patriarchal rule. And yet, some of these people that are using these words are kind of false teachers. And they're trying to diminish the role of, first off, they diminish the role of the man. And then they diminish the role of, and the reason why they diminish the role of the man is how they portray the man in his role. The man is supposed to be the protector of something like you're going to guard or protect your property. You know, can you imagine you buy a piece of property, you build a house on it, you cut the grass, you paint the house, you make everything, you put a fence up to guard. You know, fences make good neighbors. 2 John was written, but I found it very odd over the years that nobody really picked up on this, because 2 John was written, and it says, the elder, to the chosen lady and her children, whom I love in the truth, and not I only, but also all who know the truth, because of the truth which lives in us and will be with us forever. Now, it's very strange. It says, the elder. So an elder must be writing this. I've done some more research on this, but for years I read this. I mean, there was a year from, I want to say January to end of April, where every day I had to read the general epistles. I mean, I had to read from Hebrews all the way to the end of 3 John. Every day I had to read it and journal. That was probably some of the best 3 or 4 months of my life, because every day when you read these, by the end of it, you find new things. And this is one of the things I found. And I have it highlighted in my Bible from over something like 30 years ago, Bible college. This is a very brief, very short letter. So whoever this elder is talking to somebody, but he's writing to a woman. It says, to the chosen lady. Now, maybe this is interpreted as being the church. It could be. I've heard people use the chosen lady as the church, but then I've heard other people say, no, this was a real woman and her children. I don't know. I've used some more research on this, because to be honest, I really didn't care who it was written to. I cared more about the meat and potatoes and what was the message. You know, because after all, I mean, the whole point of when you do research in the Bible is, you know, you want to know what happened. You want to ask the question, so what? What does this mean? And then you go on and you question, well, now what? What do we do with what we're reading here? To the elder. Now, the elder is writing to the chosen lady and her children, whom I love in the truth, and not I only, but also all who know the truth, because of the truth which lives in us and will be with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Father's Son, will be with us in truth and love. It has given me great joy to find some of your children walking in the truth, just as the Father commanded us. It's amazing how it's very specific. The very first thing he says, it's given me great joy to find some of your children walking in the truth, just as the Father commanded us. And now, dear lady, I am not writing you a new command, but one we have had from the beginning. I ask that we love one another. And this is love, that we walk in obedience to his commandments. As you have heard from the beginning, his command is that you walk in love. And then right away he goes from walking in love, walking in the commandments, and then right away he sends a warning shot across the bow and the stern. Many deceivers who do not acknowledge Christ, the Messiah, as coming in the flesh, have gone out into the world. Any such person is the deceiver and the Antichrist. Watch out that you do not lose what you have worked hard for, but that you may be rewarded fully. Anyone who runs ahead and does not continue in the teaching of the Messiah does not have God. Whoever continues in the teaching has both the Father and the Son. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not take him into your house or welcome him. Anyone who welcomes him shares in his wicked work. I have much to write you, but I do not want to use paper and ink. Instead, I hope to visit you and talk to you face to face, so that our joy may be complete. The children of your chosen sister send their greetings. It's amazing. You got an elder writing on behalf of, like on his behalf, to a lady, and then at the end he said, oh, by the way, you know, the children of your chosen sister send their greetings. He's sending a message of being watchful, being careful, and being very brief. But it's amazing how this was an elder speaking to a lady, a woman, and her children. And then at the very end, he wants to make sure that he lets her know, oh, by the way, you know, the children. So can you imagine you have two women and they both have children? And he says, hey, by the way, the children of, you know, your friend, this sister, or this other lady, they send their greetings. Whoever's writing this is including women and children. Isn't that amazing? That's why when we hear the word patriarchal rule, we have to go back and we need to read carefully all these words, and we need to know the spirit behind all of this. Because when you hear the word family of God, what does family mean? It means man, woman, and children. You know, even Christ, he said, come to me, all you are weary. But not only that, he said, hey, let the little children come to me. And you know what's amazing? All the children loved him. So if he was this tyrannical, patriarchal, I'm lording over you, he wasn't that. The children loved him because he loved the children. The question is, do you love as a man? Do you treat children and women the same way that Christ treated them? After all, didn't Christ say, or the Apostle Paul say, husbands, love your wives, so that Christ might flow through you into her? Isn't that the whole point? One of the very first things that he mentions is that there's grace, mercy, and peace. If you're missing these at any time in a consistent manner, then you need to start questioning, and you need to be watchful of who you hang out with, and you need to be careful at the table you sit at. Stick to the plumb line. You're going to need it.